In this 2-minute drill, we'll be getting tips on how to help elected officials on their campaigns from the National Real Estate Investors Association's COO, Charles Tassel, and General Counsel, Jeff Watson.
How do we participate in the political system, especially in campaigns? That means getting involved with candidates. That may mean doing candidate questionnaires, asking candidates questions, inviting candidates in to speak to organizations to say, where do you stand on things? And I find it also very important not only to ask the candidates where they stand on things, but to let them know where you stand on things. Because then they can say, oh, I've been informed, I've heard, now I know how to address their concerns.
Sometimes the question is asked, what about fundraising? How can we best contribute money? How can we best help a candidate or a campaign that we're interested in supporting? There's 2 ways of doing it. The most obvious way and very effective way is for individual members of a REIA and its leadership to make individual campaign contributions. Pay attention to what the dollar limits are. Make sure you don't go over the dollar limits, but go ahead and write those checks, okay? And do it. And make sure you use a personal check, not a business check, not a corporate check, but a personal check.
Maybe it's a few people getting together and saying, you know what, we want to have some friends over to a house, we're going to write some checks out, and we're going to give them to a candidate. But don't think that it has to be $5,000 checks. $25, $35 checks, a group of people meeting with a candidate is a very powerful impact.
Now, somebody may come along and say, well, what if we could together, use the REIA's money? Whoa, wait a second there. Before you do that, you need to do 2 things. You need to check with National REIA to see if there's any advice that we can give you about what's unique in your state about forming a political action committee, and we're going to make sure and insist that you get good local counsel to help you that's knowledgeable in forming your own PAC. So get some research, do it right. But the vast majority of the time, individual campaign contributions are a great way to get started. Once you get some real traction and momentum in this area and there's a candidate you really care about, then it's time to break out the research on creating a PAC. Then you can take it a step further and become a volunteer at their campaign. Now here you are working in their local office, not in DC, not in the city, not in your state capital, but in their local office helping with the campaign. And it might be just as simple as saying, hey, I've got 29 different rental properties. Can I get 29 yard signs to put in each one of my rental properties? That would be wonderful news to them. They'd love it. 99% of the campaigns that are out there don't have enough money. They need money. Money is like oxygen for a politician running a campaign, for an elected official, for a legislator. They need the money. They don't like having to raise money, but they've got to do it. You can supply them something that they need. In an exchange, you get an opportunity to do 2 things. You get an opportunity to have some access, and you get an opportunity to provide some information about what matters to you.
Contact National REIA or your chapter for guidance on local campaign finance rules. And be sure to check out other episodes of the 2-minute drill.